Yes, we're back again. This is FootyWit Podcast, a special episode. Rep your team fan debates, second segment. It was crazy. The first one, yeah, I went out in and out. The internet was a bit crazy. Now I'm back, but it was crazy. We saw shots fired. Liverpool going straight. Chelsea not relenting. Arsenal and Manchester United seem not to have fired a lot of shots in that first segment. But this segment, we hope they have fire and power. So we're joined with Chimamaka. Chimamaka joins us on this segment. So Chimamaka will be co-hosting this segment with me. He's a neutral. He doesn't have his Chelsea jersey, but nonetheless, we're good to go. So straight up, after 8 games, title chase. We all know when it comes to May 2021, someone will be crowned champions. And we saw what happened last season. Liverpool going 33 or 31 games unbeaten, nearly breaking Arsenal's unbeaten record. Arsenal fans still have something to hold on still. And this season has been topsy-turvy. Liverpool hits it by Aston Villa, chop arm 7-2. Arsenal 3-0. Manchester United, they've lost. Everybody seems to have lost. Chelsea too got beat by Liverpool 3-0. And Arsenal, with their topsy performance, they were able to nick 3 points at the Old Trafford, ending that 14 years unbeaten after that losing streak, 14 years. And Liverpool too, we've seen them struggle here and there, but May 2021 seems to be the holy grail for the 20 teams in the EPL. So looking at this on this fan debate, after 8 games, we know where we stand. We analyzed it in the first segment. Now, after 8 games, with 30 games to go for each team, is it possible for your team to be crowned champions come May 2021? We'll start with Manchester United.
Yes, it's possible. As long as Solskjaer is not the manager, it is possible. 30 games, it's a lot of games. 30 times 3 is 90 points. So 90 plus whatever it is we have right now, it's possible. But again, as long as Solskjaer is the manager, as long as he continues to tweak what's not broken, as long as he feels like Daniel James can start ahead of Cavani, I don't see Manchester United there at come May 2021. Is it possible? It is possible. Can it be done? Oh yes, definitely it can be done. With a manager on ground right now, I don't think he can do that. So
it was fast, and that was just straight hit the nail on the head. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta playing Aubameyang on the side, not playing him in central. Is it possible? Can he do the remaining 30 games playing Aubameyang on the wings, playing Willian on the wings? Can he do that for the next 30 games and also win the title? Is it feasible for Arsenal to be crowned champions come May 2021?
Can Arsenal win the Premier League title this season? I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. I'm going to be extremely realistic. Look, I'm not going to give myself any high hopes, but look, with the quality of that team, they should be title contenders. But this is the first time that you've got someone like Thomas Partey in the team. The first time you've got someone like Gabriel Magalhaes in the team. Yeah, fine. They seem to have found the way to adjust very well into the team. But then if we're talking about the chemistry of the team, it's not there yet. It's not A1 currently. Because whenever plan A doesn't work for us now, there's no plan B. There's no visible plan B. If they can't move the ball from the wings, start the gameplay from the back, move it over to the wings, and then you have Aubameyang cutting in, or you have someone in the middle to tap it in. Simply, there is no other option for Arsenal. If you want to be a championship winning team, you need to have at least 3 plans. And as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal only have a plan A. Why is that? Because the team is still not solid defensively. The major reason why Mikel Arteta switched back to, or rather switched to a 3 at the back was to, number 1, curb the defensive errors of individuals, and then to also bring balance into the team. So I think so far so good. He has been brilliant. It's perfect for us. It's working brilliantly. But then we need to see another side to Arsenal. I need to see what I see in training. I need to see it happen in games. I see a lot of brilliant things during the Arsenal training sessions, but I don't see them happening in the real games. So for me, that needs to happen. I'm taking a look at their next fixtures till the end of the year, Arsenal going to face Leeds, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Spurs, Burnley, Southampton, Everton, Chelsea, and Brighton. Look, these are all winnable games, but they're extremely difficult games. What I love the most about the English Premier League is that it's so difficult for you to predict any game. I mean, who would have thought that after beating Manchester United at Old Trafford, Arsenal would lose at the Emirates to Villa? No one saw that coming, not even their greatest rivals. So at the end of the day, look, so much of good football to look forward to in the English Premier League. But for Arsenal, can they win the title? No. A top-4 finish is realistic, and they should be going for a top-4 finish. Any other thing apart from a top-4 finish, in my own opinion, is a disappointment, and we might start hearing Arteta out. So can Arsenal win the Premier League this season? No.
Whoa. Manchester United gone, Arsenal gone. Now we're facing Chelsea. You guys don't. You can also put in cognizance that of the other rivals too: Manchester City, Tottenham, Leicester City, Wolves. You know, because we don't have representatives here. We don't have supporters of such clubs in Nigeria. Even if they are, they're so difficult to find. So on FootyWit Podcast, we're able to lay hold on big guys like you supporting your team. And let's don't forget to also put that in our aspect of analysis. So we'll move straight to Chelsea. You know, impressive. Lampard, beginning of the season, you know, he couldn't find the balance. The balance was the problem, where Chelsea lost some games, dropped points in some games. But it's in the last 3 games or last 4 or 5 games, it seems to have found that balance. And you could see it's all roller coaster for Chelsea rather, you know, and Edward Mendy coming in, you know, replacing Kepa, going 5 games without conceding, though he conceded in their last game against Sheffield United. But you could see Chelsea suddenly have found that balance. 30 games to go. Do you see them? Is it feasible for Chelsea to become champions? Damini?
All right. Okay. So let me answer it like this. Let's say we have 90 points, like BabaTunde mentioned, right? I see Chelsea getting at least 75 of those points. There's a very high chance that they get 75 points, right? So what they have now, at least, and there's a fighting chance. Now, the remaining 15 points is what will determine whether they will win this season, right? So let me first start with that. That's number 1. Number 2, Chelsea's problem, we all know it. Lampard kept on tinkering and looking for where he can play his son, Mason Mount, and he saw that it was not working. The relationship with Kepa, he was still romancing the boy. For me, I feel like if your coach can tell you to leave a match and you are shouting that no, I want to stay, it's only Sarri. Another coach can't do that. So I feel Kepa should have gone since last season. Right? And I have beef with Kepa. Yes. Let me first establish that. I don't like the boy. That's number 1. Right? He brought Mendy. Once he brought Mendy, there was balance. Right? There was balance. There was a shutout. No goals, no useless goals were entering. Right? What's he called? This guy, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva has added some sense to Zuma's brain. Like, I feel like Zuma can easily be as better than Varane in Real Madrid. He can easily be better because he's wait now. Listen, guys.
That's blasphemy right there. That's blasphemy.
Let me hype my boy. Let me hype my boy. Please.
They're countrymen.
Please, let me hype my boy.
We see what they
Please
play.
wait. Let me hype my boy. So I feel like if he had so Varane had Ramos. Ramos is one of the smartest defenders out there, right? Thiago Silva is easily in that list of top 3 best or top 5 best defenders. Thiago Silva is easily in that list. So you already have that kind of influence in your defensive line that has brought stability and common sense. Common sense is key. So there's common sense because Ricky James is a young boy. If he had his way, he would probably just sleep in front. But there's a Thiago Silva telling you, come back, young man, come back, come. That's not your first work. Your first work is actually to defend, right? There is Zuma. Zuma now does not move anyhow again. Like, he moves with sense. When the season started, Zuma, Christensen, Rodriga, they were just all over the place. where you should not be going to, they will be going there. So Thiago Silva is there to be slapping them. There's Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell is there doing his business, providing assists from the fullback position, right? Now, then I don't want to talk about the midfield, but I feel like the midfield was okay. Then you now go to the front three. Like, imagine a scenario where you have, what's it called? Ziyech, Timo Werner, and Pulisic. Who can stop those guys now? Who? See, Firmino 2.0, he did my team. So who wants to stop us? Who? And I feel, I want to make a very bold statement, right? I feel like Ziyech and Pulisic, right? They can actually be as good, if not better, as Mane and Salah. I want to make that very bold statement. That those two, if they mature well enough, they will be fantastic. And those guys are my team.
It's allowed.
You understand? Exactly.
It's allowed.
Right? And then it's just a very good mix, right? If without injuries, because I feel like we also have an injury problem in that squad. Without injuries, these guys can go. I personally feel like we don't need to force too many too many competitions. It's not by force we win the Champions League now. We can wait. Liverpool won the Champions League first, then they won the Premier League. I personally don't feel like we should be fighting for all the glory, right? Give those little boys chances. Let's see what they can do. And what's it called? Hudson Odoi. The boy just needs playtime. He's just like he's a child, so he's just running over the place. So when you give him playtime, he will mature. So against Champions League matches, let these guys play. You're not going to win the Champions League. Chelsea is not that good yet. We're not going to win the Champions League. Let me put it out there. So the Premier League that we can win, let's focus on that one, right? Let's just focus on that one and kill it there. Simple.
I agree with that. And one thing that happened last season was that Chelsea at some point they got a hang of it and they went a lot of games. They won a lot of games without dropping points. And I said it at the beginning of the season that if Chelsea can find that thing, I mean, we think her in some games, but if Lampard can find that starting 11 and keep to it, find that winning formula and keep to it, Chelsea will be the team to stop this season.
Yep. And it goes like what I was saying. Like Okpen mentioned that a Premier League champion needs to have 3 plans, right? And for me, I feel like you should have a strong 2 and then a okay 1. So that's your 3 plans. I feel like Chelsea, as of now, have a good enough 18 players. So if a Ben Chilwell is out for some time, right, and we have some very good run of games. We don't have the big dogs like Man U, like Liverpool. We don't have those guys. We can use our B team to easily get 3 points, right? If for some very strange reason, we won't have like a lot of injuries. We also have a C team that can make up. It's something that Liverpool does not have. It's something Man City does not have. It's something that Arsenal doesn't have. It's something that Man U doesn't have, right? So there's that full squad. And you look at people that have won the league, they always have those kind of squads. They always have squads that can tug it out. When when Liverpool won the league, all of a sudden, Oxlade stepped up. Finally, we had Lallana back. Lallana was there as well, right? So there's that long stretch of games that you also need to have 18 fresh legs or at least 22 fresh legs to go through. And I feel Chelsea has that, right? Now, for what you mentioned earlier, for me, I feel another team that can actually steal the Premier League is Tottenham. And for me, Tottenham is first factor, Mourinho. Mourinho is the first factor why Tottenham can actually steal the Premier League. That's the first factor. The second factor is they have a very good squad. Their squad is not average this year. They don't have a couple of fantastic players. They have a lot of good players. And then 1 or 2, 3, 4 fantastic players. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's just allow Liverpool. Liverpool, several injuries to your main guys, VVD, this other guy, Salah testing positive, and also Gomez, we heard, got injured while on duty with England. But the good thing about it is, despite all this, despite Van Dijk, I was of the opinion that Van Dijk, is going to be crazy for Liverpool, but they've been able to pull strings of winnings. 3 points here, 3 points there. Do you think we had an episode on the podcast talking about if Liverpool were able to retain the title, but after that 7-2 mauling at Villa Park, they've been able to steady the ship again, and you see them picking vital points. So come May 2021. Will Liverpool still be crowned champions or remain champions?
Let me just start by saying that as champions, when you are faced with adversities and when some challenges comes your way, as champions, what major thing that you have to do, or what major thing to respond is for you to keep staying on top of that table, and for you to keep bringing out or chewing out that result.
Motivational speaker.
Now, if you look at it, Liverpool have lost several players due to injury this season. A whole lot of players are out. But despite that, if you look at the league table, if not because of the recent draw against Man City, we should be sitting pretty at the top of the table, and it's showing all our rivals that we are still there. But right now, we are still in the third position. And I can tell you, after 8 games like this, if you can look at that 30 games very well, if you look at Liverpool's history, home history, you look at it that Liverpool we have 63 games unbeaten home history run that we are currently working on now. And I can tell you, if after just calculate it, we have 30 games left. If I have 15 of those games winning them at home comfortably, if you look at the games, the fixtures that are available for me in November and December, I have Leicester City at home. That is my next game. That is as good as a big win for me. And I have Brighton and Hove Albion. Those are teams that I beat easily. Look at it with Wolverhampton Wanderers, Fulham, Crystal Palace, West Brom, Newcastle. These are games that we can easily navigate through. So these are not games that we should be stressing at. The only difficult game there is Tottenham. And I can tell you, Tottenham doesn't have a record as at now. They don't have a record. You know where people are finding it easy for them to actually criticize Liverpool now is because of our players that are out injured. Now, let me tell you about our players, especially from the defense line. The defense line, Van Dijk is out, Gomez is out, and just as we are hearing, Alexander-Arnold is out. I'm telling you, those 3 key players are out, which I can confirm to you. But I can tell you, they are replacements on ground. I can tell you that for Van Dijk, Matip is available.
Trent is out as well.
Yeah. I mentioned him, Arnold. Yeah, I mentioned him as well. So I can tell you that coming in, we have Matip coming in. Fabinho is back from his injury, who will also work alongside Matip. And we have Nathaniel Phillips, who can also deputize in that center defending role. And in the right back, where we have Arnold out, Milner is he can play anywhere. He can fit in anywhere. Milner is a good deputy in that position. Milner can play. This is a senior man. We all know Milner. Milner can deputize in that position. And let me tell you, talking about midfielders, we have an array of midfielders. We don't have any problem with our midfield. Henderson is Liverpool have almost 9 senior fit midfielders. Henderson is there. Thiago is back. Keita is back. We have Wijnaldum. We have Fabinho. Fabinho is deputizing at the back. We have Curtis Jones. We have so many other players that are on standby. And we look at the front lines, and some people are saying Salah is not there. Salah, we have a team squad. We don't have a second team. We don't have a third team. If Salah is that someone that is Jota that is even struggling to enter the first team can easily fit in. If Jota is not fitting in, we have Shaqiri is there. Shaqiri is there. I think most people used to outline, they used to take him out. Shaqiri is there. We have Origi. Origi is there. We have several Minamino. Minamino is still there. We have several players who can come into the front line and actually support Mane and Firmino. So you look at it, the Liverpool is not shaking in any way. It's just for us to get to the opponent and give them what we are good at giving them. We are not shaking at all. And you think some of our rivals will think that this is the best time to win. There's never a good time to play Liverpool. There's never a good time.
Kepa caused this thing. Kepa caused this. I blame Kepa for this. I blame Kepa for this.
63 games not losing at home is not a joke. That Anfield is a fortress. Anybody that comes there will be crushed down. And you look at it, and my away form have not been so bad like that. If not because of what happened against Aston Villa. Aston Villa were lucky to actually get that win. But they did well. I won't blame them. But it
Did you
happened
just say
like that.
lucky?
They're
7-2 is
lucky.
lucky. 7-2 is not
7-2
lucky,
is
oh my brother.
No.
That's
If you look at if you if,
7-2
if
is
we
not
can all be
lucky.
sincere, let us all be sincere. From that game, we all saw that there were three deflected goals there. There were two errors.
I have so much to say.
I'm telling you. So you look at that game.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I have so much to say actually. I have so many questions to ask. I have so many counter statements to counter, and but as it is, I'm a neutral, so I will not do that now. Well, as it stands,
No.
we've heard everything that you said. Damini has spoken with all how do I put it? With all what borrow me one grammar. Damini has been speaking like he's running Chelsea Football Club. He's actually spoken like man.
Yes,
I'm coming back to you. The only realistic person here I have actually seen, and I'm happy about that because of this particular hold on this because of this particular podcast is the Arsenal guy. That's Okpe. Okpe is the only realistic man who has spoken and he's being very truthful. Okpe, I agree with you on this on your statement, but I have a question to actually ask. But this question is for Okpe presently. Okpe, you talked about Arteta not being able to achieve this, but several Arsenal fans I have spoken to and I've also heard talk because they had a very good stint with Arteta coming in and the likes. We've had a problem with Arsenal in their central midfield. They've lacked creativity, and we realized that the only person in the whole Arsenal Football Club who can do that is wallowing it's not even on the bench. He's not on the bench. He's just probably carrying broom and packer, sweeping the entire stadium after the match. And he's the highest earning footballer in Arsenal, despite the fact that Aubameyang has signed a new contract. So, as an Arsenal fan, I want you to be candid. As an Arsenal fan, you've seen the lack of creativity that has gone on in the Arsenal midfield. What is your take as an Arsenal fan? Now, if you are you are put in the position to make changes, what would you do? In 1-2 minutes, just do that because I'm coming back for Harbey. Please, Okpe, please just quickly do that.
Okay, so let me answer your question first of all. You said, what will I do if I was in that situation? Definitely, if I did not have any hindrance whatsoever, I would incorporate Mesut Ozil into the squad because that is a world-class player. That is one of the best creative midfielders the world of football has ever seen. Okay, but now there are more things that happen behind the scenes when it comes to football, and we all know the way there's always some sort of politics that happens behind the scenes. Now, with Mesut Ozil, the initial situation, the main reason why he was first of all frozen out of the squad under Unai Emery was due to his lack of work ethic, according to Unai Emery. But then you think about it, Arsene Wenger was one of the most disciplined managers we've had in the world of football. Why didn't Wenger ever drop Mesut Ozil? Truth be told, why didn't Wenger drop Mesut Ozil? Why didn't Joachim Löw drop Mesut Ozil? Why didn't Carlo Ancelotti drop Mesut Ozil? Why didn't Jose Mourinho drop Mesut Ozil? The truth is that if you have solid defenders and if you have good enough midfielders behind Mesut Ozil, you don't need Mesut Ozil to defend. You don't need Mesut Ozil to defend at all. That's just the truth. Kai Havertz has no defensive duty for Chelsea because Frank Lampard trusts the set of players behind Kai Havertz. That's why Kai Havertz can do what he's doing at Chelsea. It's the same thing. Look, Ronaldinho necessarily didn't have defensive duties playing for both Barcelona and Brazil because he had world-class players around him. Why wasn't there an issue with Mesut Ozil's work ethic while at Real Madrid? Take a look at who he was playing with: Xabi Alonso, Sami Khedira. There was a time Lassana Diarra was there. Take a look at the back for Ricardo Carvalho, Ramos, Varane, Marcelo. I can go on and on and on again. Can you compare those crop of players to the players at Arsenal? No. That's just the truth. But then if we're taking a look at the current situation of this Arsenal team, due to individual errors, due to the fact that the team is not well balanced, I do agree with the fact that he cannot be in this team because it will even be worse for him. Number one, he would be frustrated and he would not be able to be productive. Can Mesut Ozil fit into this current system of Arsenal's football? Yes, he can. I take you back to the 2016-2017 season. Arsene Wenger had to revert to a three at the back, and it worked perfectly for Arsenal. And Ozil was in that team. Ozil was playing just behind Olivier Giroud and Alexis Sanchez, or if it's Sanchez and Walcott, as the case may be. So Ozil knows how to play in this position. The position that Ozil filled under Wenger while playing a three at the back, he was that attacking midfielder who was able to drop back into the midfield, able to link those passes within the two central midfielders at that time, which were Matthew Flamini and Santi Cazorla. So he would come back and link up the play, bring him the wing back into the gameplay. And also he was there to provide the goals and assists for the likes of Sanchez, Giroud, and Walcott. So if things are right, also
in essence, you're trying to tell me now that. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, there's one more reason why Mesut Ozil has been exiled from the squad. Now, when Rahul Sanheli was in the team, Rahul was the person that was in charge of recruitment for us. He's responsible for a lot of great players that came into the Arsenal team. Now, what happened was the fact that Ozil was linked with some sort of political flair with Turkey. Do you understand? And then Raul Sanheli was not pleased with that because no Arsenal player, or rather no football player, should have any link with politics. But then it was taken out of perspective. The German government and they were against Ozil. That's one major reason why Ozil retired from international football. Now, tell me, what does club football necessarily need to do with what the player does outside of the confines of that league? I really don't understand. So, fine, good and well, Rahul left. Ozil was meant to be back in the squad. But obviously, there are still some individuals who do not want Mesut Ozil back in that team. Another reason has to be the wage cuts. But I believe Ozil is just made to be the scapegoat. Because apart from Mesut Ozil, there were two other senior players in that team that did not agree to a wage cut. So you can't tell me that simply because of a wage cut, Mesut Ozil is not allowed to be in that team.
True, though.
There are things going on at Arsenal. There's a major reason why Mesut Ozil is not incorporated into that squad.
So in essence, according to you, with you at the helm at Arsenal, as it stands presently, because of the lack of defensive power you have, you would not include Ozil in your starting 11. Now, I get that. You have answered that as an Arsenal fan, which is great. So I still have questions to ask in that regard, but in order not to waste time or spend so much time on this, I want to go to the Liverpool fan. You spoke, Harbey, you spoke about the strength. You spoke about the strength in Liverpool as it stands presently, and you were sounding so comfortable and convincing that with the crop of players you have presently, you're going to do the league again. You're going to do the league again. I mean, you're going to be retaining the EPL championship. I want you to say yes or no if you are doing that. If you are saying that, sure. So it means in essence, you'll be retaining the English Premier League as it stands. But with what we've seen in the past 4 games of the season, they've lost their best. Sorry, you've lost your best 3 defenders. And let's not forget that Jurgen Klopp has no plan B. Probably you didn't know that. Jurgen Klopp only has 15 active players in that squad. As a Liverpool fan, you should know that. Jurgen Klopp spent 5 years building 15 players. I want you to know that, so that
18,
if I'm wrong,
18 actually.
No.
18.
No, he built 18, but 15 are consistent. So I wanted to get where I'm coming to. Now, of the 18 players he built, he has only, and quote unquote, only 4 defenders. And of those 4 defenders, you have 3 out of the road. And you're telling me that your next match, which is at Anfield against Leicester City, with the crop of defenders you have on ground, you are going to nick a 3 points. And you also talked about having 63 points at Anfield. Well, you are yet to break the Jose Mourinho. How many games? 63 games. Okay, you are yet to break the Guinness Book of Records that Jose Mourinho has set of 86 games at Stamford Bridge. I hope you know that. So you're telling me now that with the only senior defender you have, outside defender you have, who is Joel Matip, the only outside defender you have, you're telling me that against Leicester City you will not concede 4 goals? If your answer is you will not concede 4 goals, give me your formation. Let me see how you run it. Because after you've given the formation, I will give Damini chance to scrutinize your formation. Damini, you do that in 1 minute 30 seconds. Okay, as an analyst, you're going to break that down in 2 minutes for me, and at the end, you give me your scoreline for your next game. And please, I would like you to do that in 2
I
minutes.
won't waste your time because the formation is already set. Because when you look at it, sometimes people used to think that Liverpool is one club that we cannot. No, it's not. We have the players on ground. When there are loopholes, we try to cover it up, and we have the caliber of players that can fill up positions. When we start from the goalkeeper, this guy is not there, Alisson, Adrian can definitely fit in. You can't tell me You can't tell me Klopp has not been using Adrian or Adrian is not part of the players Klopp uses. Adrian has been part of our starting lineup. You can talk about the defense, which I will mention very, very extensively on. You look at it, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Joe Gomez are out. In the beginning of the season, we all know that Joe Gomez was not even in our starting lineup. It was Joe Matip that was partnering Virgil van Dijk. It was because of the inconsistency.
Beginning of this season or beginning of last season?
Yeah. This season.
Is it beginning of this season or last season?
This season.
Last season. Joao Gomez had his breakthrough last season. I hope you remember.
He had his breakthrough
last season,
but he was not.
So are you going to rule him out this season? No, are you going to rule him out this season?
He made some errors in the first 2 games, which led him out of the team. Matip came in to the team, and not quite long. Matip also had injury, so Gomez was forced to return back into the starting lineup to partner Van Dijk.
In
so
essence,
now, Gomez
hold on. I'm coming. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll cut you short now. This same thing that happened this season happened this time last season. I hope you remember. With Joel Matip getting injured. I hope you remember. Who saw more games in that period? You had more of Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez,
right? Yeah. You had more of Joe Gomez. Now, you are also trying to tell me, and you are trying to ascertain that Joe Gomez is not a starting 11. Please take note. Damini, take
Yes.
Take note, because I'm going to quote you on every statement.
Liverpool seems to be under the ropes here.
So he has to answer this question. Now you hold on. Now I'm quoting you. Now you're saying Joe Gomez is not part of the starting 11. Yes or no?
Yes.
No. Yes or he's not. Are you guys taking note? We're gonna carry on.
I'm not missing words. See, if you look at it, you can ask any Liverpool fan, and you can even ask people that are followers of Liverpool. They will tell you from the starting level, the person that partners Van Dijk in the out of defense is Matip. But Matip is not usually consistent in terms of his fitness, and that's why Gomez has broke into that defense line and mostly starts alongside Van Dijk. But only
I think we should leave that to the coach. that's the coach's responsibility too.
Yeah, because if Matip starts originally, but mostly Matip is an injury-prone player, and now that he's fit, we thank God that he's available to actually be called upon. Now that 2 of our senior centre backs are out, so Matip alongside Fabinho, we all know Fabinho is trying and is a main still also in defense. He has a couple of days when we had Van Dijk out of the team. He actually deputized. He has shown that he can actually steady the ship at the out of defense. So having Matip and Fabinho,
I know. Quickly give us your back four. Your back four. Who's your left back?
Fabinho. Then the left back is Robertson. Robertson will always take his spot. He's available.
Then at
the right back, we have James Milner. We cannot take down this man's quality. This man is Mr. Fantastic, and he's someone that he can actually play anywhere across the pitch excellently well. So you can depend on James Milner any day and any time. The only problem you have with Milner is that you can't expect Milner to drive up to the front of the pitch, go front, go back just easily and like Trent Alexander-Arnold. No, but you expect him to actually give a decent job.
For the game against Leicester City, we are expecting we're expecting Milner at right back.
Yeah.
At center back, we're expecting to see
Fabinho
and Joe Martin.
and Matip.
At left
Yeah.
back, we're expecting to see
Andrew Roberts.
Robertson. Then at defensive midfield, who are we expecting to be there?
At defensive, see the options are even plenty. But
Just give us.
If I already
with what formation are you running with first?
I'll
What
go with the 4-3-3 formation.
4-3-3 at
4-3-3 formation.
okay,
At the midfield, we'll actually go for Henderson. Henderson will also be Henderson will partner Thiago.
and who again?
And so
Okay.
we have Wijnaldum.
Okay, then and in attack.
Henderson and Wijnaldum, then we have Thiago. Then in attack, we have Mane. We have Mane, we have Jota, and we have Firmino. Very
Okay,
simple.
great. Now what's your scoreline for that game?
The scoreline for that game is very easy now. It's 3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1 in favor of Liverpool. Okay. Abi, thank you. I'll like Okwe to take off from there.
Do you expect a Leicester to come to Anfield and beat you?
Chimamaka.
Wait. Let me ask you, Chimamaka, do you expect Leicester to come to Anfield and just beat me?
Let's not forget I'm a neutral.
63 games. Consider the fact that I have 63 games on.
See,
a wrong person. And Leicester will just come
guys,
down.
football can go. See, really well.
You are close to doing 49 unbeaten, right? But what happened? Breeze blew and found and Shokun. Something can happen. Okay, so
guys, we'll leave that for our EPL. We'll leave that for our EPL review.
All right. Well, there's so much to say. We can't do this in 1 hour. Actually, we can't. With all of us, with the kind of football you might really get.
Hey guys,
we cannot do this in 1 hour.
Guys. I know Damini is already preparing his formation for me, but I know we'll leave that one for the third segment. That formation that will keep Chelsea because they like those Chelsea fans. They like anything Caraba, ZH, everything. We'll see everything now. The whole ZH hype.
I mean, you see it. Well, okay, please, in 2 minutes. Counter what he said. Counter what in just 2 minutes.
Hey, guys.
Counter what he said.
Guys. Hey, easy, man. Easy.
Just counter what he said. I'll be happy about it. Just to get what you get.
No. I think time, because of time. Okay. Really. Apparently, that was supposed to be the other thing. We're supposed to look at the tactics and all that. But we've started all that. Yeah, but because of time, it's been there's so much.
There's so much to talk about, actually. Well,
okay.
Due to time and due to probably buffering from our internet or something, we would actually have to do that in the next segment. And the next segment, we're talking tactics all through. So tactically, we are going to bring our tactical minds out to the table, and we are going to do something.
Yeah, so it's nice doing this. It's nice doing this.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
So well, let's keep it
to us late. So maybe we should just round up. Then we'll move on to the next segment.
Yes. That's what I intend to do. So I'll round up this. Well, it's been very nice doing this with you guys, and let's just keep what we have in mind and pour it out in the next segment. We are talking tactical football. Bring your tactical minds to the table. Let's rub minds. Let's counter each other on tactics. Tactically, please. We are bringing it